You are live. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to your journey, your tarot journey, where we go about every single major arcana. We go deep diving with our experiences and also some research that we have done. And today we're talking about the hangman.
The hangman.
Hangman.
The hangman is I'm gonna tell you, like, is very, like, there's a few cards that are triggering to people who come to tarot reading because they like don't understand, right? So when you hear death, they're like, oh my god. And then when you hear hangman, you're like, what? Right? You get that from people?
Sometimes,
yeah. They're like, what do you
Mostly
mean?
with death.
What does it mean? Like hangman.
Means when they see the card and they're like, that looks horrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. He's hanging upside down. Why? You know, like what's going on? But last week we talked about justice and we went into the number 11, and this is the 12 card, which is 1 + 2 is 3, which is kind of like the Empress energy, creativity. But if you take the 1, it's new beginnings, and if you take the 2, it's
holy matrimony,
union, right?
Yeah.
But 12 is cosmic harmony, which kind of really works well with our beautiful hangman here.
Which, if you want to describe it for those not watching the video.
The symbolism of the hangman is there's a man hanging upside down from a world. It's called the world tree, but I actually took down the name. It's called Yggdrasil, which is Norwegian, I'm assuming. But I'm assuming. So this world tree is like a T, looks like almost like a cross, and he's hanging from it. And the significant this he's a Norse. He's okay. Let's do this. He is signifying the symbolic. Oh my god, I can't do this. Okay.
Well, you're doing great.
I know.
You're talking about
this is the Norse god
Odin.
A lot of people who work with runes. He's the one who came up with the runes, the meanings and the symbols of the runes. Because he hung upside down for 9 days and 9 nights to fully encapsulate and embrace and like understand the higher meanings of each of these symbols on the runes.
It's interesting. It's almost like he needed to see the runes in a different angle, in a different way, so he can actually see what they're about.
And he hung upside down, right? And it's kind of beautiful because his legs are crossed and they look like a number 4, which is groundedness, which is interesting because he's upside down. So there's like a little like there's like a play going on here, right? Like a duality happening here.
Yeah.
This is groundedness, but he's hanging upside down. His at the bottom where his head is hanging, there's a halo, which means higher state of consciousness. But if you think about it, when we think higher state of consciousness, we think above.
Yeah.
We don't think down below.
Yeah.
So I'm loving this card even more. Anyways, the world tree is like represents heaven. Heaven. I'm gonna see this.
I never actually thought of the tree as anything.
Earth makes sense. And the underworld. Interesting. Okay. This tree looks like the meridians of the body.
Oh.
So this is the body and this is out, right? The meridians, which is a huge thing in reflexology and acupuncture and everything. It's just
all
like
the Eastern medicines, basically.
Yeah, we can all feel there's an imbalance of the meridians. So anyway, this is a big card, actually. I'm loving it a lot more.
But I actually love the fact that you pointed that out, that the halo's on the bottom, meaning higher consciousness, and then you have the stability, the number 4, his legs are hanging upright, meaning regardless of if you're hanging upside down and seeing things in a different perspective, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean that you're not grounded in some way, shape, or form. It just means that even if you're switching it up, you can still be stable and you can still ground yourself when energies are high. And like we were talking about it this week, it's been intense. Like everything also in our lives are going all over the place. And we had to face a lot of truths, a lot of masks, a lot of illusions, a lot of breakdowns. But amongst all of those, seeing things in a different perspective, it doesn't mean that we couldn't take the moment and really ground our energies and not guilt trip ourselves or shame ourselves into believing that, oh, you know what, maybe we're the crazy ones, maybe we should just ride the wave of
Crazy.
ride a wave. No, what I was
I'm
trying to
kidding.
say is ride the waves of normalcy,
Mhm.
right?
No.
When in reality, that's
No.
normal isn't really normal nowadays. If you think about it, is it normal that, you know, all our food is being injected with all kinds of hormones and creating all kinds of devastating future? Anyway, but we're not going to get into that today.
I mean, that's also,
I mean, we could.
That's also a different perspective, which is the hangman.
Yes, exactly.
So like she sees
100%.
it as that, as the hormones, and it's really bad for us. But I don't care. I don't really care what's in the food. I don't care. I don't give CHIT shit about like the climate change. I don't care about what everybody talks about, because to me it's like
you're done with it.
I'm done with it because it doesn't affect my life. It like I don't get affected by it because I know that Mother Earth, who is my mirror, will do something about it. Like the way the human can do something about it. Mother Earth will do something. The mother doesn't like what you're doing and putting in her ocean. She's going to have a tsunami and she's going to like change it up.
She's gonna fix the
She's gonna fix the situation. So like, don't come and like, oh, this.
The mother.
I bless my food when I eat it. I bless my water when I drink it. Like nothing will affect me because I am in control of me, of what's coming in and what's coming out. I don't care. Like it's like we have for me that is like Odin. He found his power, his higher inner standing by being uncomfortable for 9 days and 9 nights straight. We're uncomfortable for our whole freaking lives. But it's to get that higher understanding inside you, like to really fully see things your way. He's seeing his things his way. It doesn't mean that the runes are really that. It was according to him. But like the same way, like I see the hangman one way and Katarina could see it another way. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Right? The same thing. And that's what we're moving towards. It's like like she was saying to me today, how I think we talked about it in the justice card, actually, how we if we could become more balanced with ourselves, and we could balance the corruption of the world, right?
Yeah.
We could
be more truthful with ourselves
because we are the mirrors, right?
Yeah.
In the same way as this. So like if there's there's so much crap happening in our foods, in the whatever, the skies, like, but who can change it? Like we can't just rely on Mother Earth to change it, because she does. She does
if she does it, we might not be happy about it.
But we can do it. But we can do it too. That's the thing. This is where you've lost your power here. You're giving away your power to people that are rule makers that are not really rule makers. You can go check that out on the Justice.
We talk about that.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's changing the way you look at things, and that's what the hangman is.
And how you experience things too. I love when you said how you bless your food, and through that you're actually changing its composition, because that's the whole basis of energy work and Reiki and all the things that I've experienced just in my sessions. But also, at the end of the day, you're collaborating with your body, which is a living thing. It's a living, it's a living being in itself. It's a multiple living beings collaborating amongst itself, meaning that you can probably change the way you react to the certain things that are being in your food or being placed in your food as well. If you're conscious about your vibrational frequency, and you're conscious about how connected you are with your body, and sending out specific intentions of like, just protect me no matter what situation. And I honestly had moments in my life where I would ask protection. I don't even know why I'm asking protection. It just intuitively I'm asking for protection. And then I find out later on that there was something in the food, but it didn't affect me to the extent that it could have affected me. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a good point that she brings up, because you're going to notice that our Justice and our hangman is going to be a little bit more in detail, because we haven't done our podcast, which we do a weekly podcast, and we took a break.
Usually,
so we're probably going to
fill in that break, because the little itch that we have
to each other, right? So,
and you guys,
yeah. But so what you brought up
is almost like a segue.
Yeah. So like when you're like let's say when you're eating a piece of cheesecake, and if you think, oh my god, I'm gonna gain weight, it's gonna make me sick, I'm gonna be indigested, you've just talked to your body, and your cell says, oh, okay, you're gonna gain weight and you're gonna take this, and then
let's do it.
Let's
do it.
Collaborate
with you.
But instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna enjoy this piece of cake, I love it, I'm amazing, I'm gonna give you a little story. So this past week I had my friend came over from out of town. We went out. The first night I had a little bit too many drinks. I didn't talk to my drinks. Okay, usually I talk to my food and my drinks. A few nights later, I would talk to my higher self and say, I realize that I'm drinking and you do not want me to drink, and I'm fully aware of that, but I will. I didn't have to, but I wanted to, right? So as a human, I wanted to like partake in the festivities, and I had a whatever dirty martini. So I had that. I was talking to myself and say, metabolize this alcohol as it's making its way down, please. They're like on it. So you talking to yourself, like it's a different perspective of how you're ingesting food, drink, the air that you're breathing, people in your life, and it changes everything. It really does. It makes you accountable and responsible for what is happening in your life.
And I love how you say that, because then we're just blaming the food
always
for our misery, for our decision makings, and then again
back out. And the same friends brought I was having drinks one night at my house. I invited them over, and they brought a bag of ketchup chips because they're from Hong Kong and they don't have ketchup chips here because it's only a Canadian thing, by the way. So, and I was like, oh. And they left, and there was still like half a bowl left, and I ate the chips for breakfast. I was like, oh, because I was just sitting there, whatever. Not healthy, I understand, but I was talking to myself like, yo, I get it, but let's just metabolize. I didn't feel guilty about eating those chips. They were freaking amazing. So it changes everything. My body did not feel bad. I didn't feel bad. It's like, really, we have the power.
Yep.
So anyways, go back to Hangman.
Perspective shifts.
But it's all perspective, right? It's all the way you look at things, right? 100%. If you find this card in reverse, which is interesting because he's like facing us.
Yeah, right? He looks
standing upright on the tree, basically.
Almost makes me think of like, normalcy. Normalcy could actually pertain of resistance. Could actually pertain on not seeing things clearly, right?
Yes,
because you're
like
in the
normalcy in quotations,
or being in the habit.
Matrix.
But also in the habit, you're always in the same habit, which doesn't get you to see things in a different light. So you don't even know if these habits are good for you at the end of the day, or they could just end up being distractions that are not getting you to the questions or the answers that you're looking for, or the road that you've been wanting to go on.
He also looks like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's true.
You think about it.
Yeah,
with his arms inside, though, tied around the pole. So it's kind of interesting that shows up. Like I never really looked at that.
No, but we didn't talk about sacrifice because it's also pertains.
Like this, the self-sacrifice
to self-sacrifice or sacrificing something, which in Odin's case was not to do anything to get the information he needs, and this could be the same thing. Maybe you are doing something, or you're not doing enough of sacrificing to get to the place you want to get to, or do the things that you want to do, or have that mindset shift.
It's like self-sacrifice kind of like it irks me a little bit, but maybe more like discomfort, right? Like he chose to be uncomfortable for 9 days and 9 nights. He chose to be that, which is like self-sacrifice, right? He chose to be uncomfortable. He chose to get all his blood rushed to his head, right? And but for him, that discomfort is how he saw the light, right? And that's how we always talk about in all of our readings and all of our videos.
And mind you, he's a Norse god too, so he can probably handle that for 9 days.
Don't go and do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
But going back
disclaimer, don't go and do this.
Yeah. Do not listen. I mean, anyways, we are but tarot readers. Anyways, just back to sacrifice, just to make a little parallel on that. When I mean self-sacrifice, it could be, sometimes you have responsibilities. Maybe you have kids that needs your attention, and maybe partying every single night sacrificing the partying is something that you need to do to in this situation. So things like that in terms of self-sacrifice could be very important in the long run, because I feel like this card also pertains to, well, the sacrificing part pertains to short-term gratification. Like, can you relieve yourself from short-term gratification and get uncomfortable so you can actually have a perspective shift? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good one. So in reverse, if you get this in reverse in a reading, or if you like ask for something like a question and you get this in reverse, it means that you're a little stagnant, right? You're unable to make a decision. And like we've been talking about, maybe you're a little bit blinded. Your perspective is very, like she said before, a little normal. So you're following too much the routine,
or you're listening too much to
other people, like around you, what everyone else thinks, and there are other people opinion, belief systems. Yeah,
he's doing this, so maybe I'm gonna get the success I'm looking for just doing whatever they're doing, but then it's not working, and then you're stagnant again, because what works for one person doesn't mean it's gonna work for you as well.
And it's like delays, setbacks. Like if you're asking for a relationship, I'd say, if you're going into a new relationship, I'd say, well, it might take a little time here because someone is having doubts, or,
or you're having doubts.
Or you're having doubts, right? There could be impatience as well. So there's a whole bunch of like blocked enlightenment, because it's interesting. I like that, actually, the halo. Now the halo in reverse is in the crown chakra, like kind of.
It looks like
it is. Up. Yeah. Anyways, so we don't have a question. So I was thinking we could take this question and answer it in our reading.
What areas in my life
feel stagnant? Which I feel like a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, we can do a collective reading for everybody of what areas. Is it areas or just what is stagnant?
What areas of your life are you feeling stagnant, right? So you could think about it. Like, I feel stagnant in my relationship, on my job, in my thing. And then we'll just pull a question, see where it's at.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. A collective reading for you beautiful, beautiful people.
What areas of your life you feel stagnant? Where do you feel stagnant in your life?
And what do we need to know about it?
Yeah. Here's the message, please. These big ass cards. Oh,
there's one.
And this one.
Perfect.
And one more, because Katarina will pick it for us.
No, let's just do two. And then if we need more, we'll do more. Let's just do two. I feel like three could get a little too much information.
Whoa.
We have the Ace of Cups.
We have the Fool card.
Oh.
And the Five of Pentacles, which is so amazing to get in this situation.
Okay, so what do you see?
The Fool is Aquarius, and this is the Taurus energy, just so you know. The Five of Pentacles is lack, feelings of lack, poverty thinking, poverty mindset, a little bit depressed, walking out in the cold. There's help there for support for you, but you're not seeing it. So the fact that the Hangman is exactly that. You're feeling stagnant. This is almost like the Hangman in reverse. You feel stagnant. You're not sure about making a decision. You don't have enough. You don't think you have enough support.
You have the victim mentality. Me, I'm walking in the cold. I'm walking in the snow. I'm cold because a card. You see two people walking in the snow, and there's a church behind it, and the church is lighting up these five pentacles. But in reality, all you have to do is walk into this church to get the warmth they need. But it's like, no, but poor me, who will I be if I go to this church? Then I can't be sad about my situation. So I went all out on that one.
But it's a lot about like people. Like some of you might.
Are you suggesting that this is like the victim state?
Yes.
That everybody is still kind of.
It's a normal state to be in. The victim is the most comfortable state to be in.
Well, if that's all you know, that's the thing.
Well, we're taught to be victims.
Right now we are
in this society.
And you see it in
the poor me syndrome.
You see it in the news. You see it in
poor
TV shows. It's drama.
Victims. And no one's a victim. Right? You're not a victim.
No.
Like this also feels like some of you might be feeling stagnant in your job. Like, they always give the promotion to someone else. They're always giving the money to someone else. They're not giving it to me because I'm this color, I'm this gender, I'm this, I'm a woman, I'm a man. No, man. It's like the Fool card is here. The Fool is like, no, you can ask for anything you want.
Mm.
Like, what are you afraid of?
Like the ultimate leap of faith, right? Like,
take the risk.
Yeah, the risk taker. And it could be a calculated risk, but take that risk. Stop convincing yourself. It was so funny because I was not reading, but I was hearing about that today, where it's this not confirmation bias, but the idea was that you talk yourself out of anything you want. Is this self-talk, is self-victimizing of like, oh, but I'm not good enough to do that. Oh, but the circumstances. It's like creating that storyline that prevents us from doing the thing we want to do.
What are they're going to reject me? What are they going to think of me? How I'm going to be seen in front of everybody else? It's going to be totally different. Same thing. Like in a relationship, if the Five of Pentacles shows up, it means that you're afraid to ask for what you want within your relationship, or perhaps there's a little bit of abuse, even like emotional mental abuse here happening, right? Financial, someone has more money than you, someone's holding the money over you, kind of thing, and saying, well, you don't work, so like I make more, kind of thing. That shows up a lot because it's the Taurus energy. It's all about financials and materialism, and there's that showing up. Like there's a lot to be said here. Sorry if that made noise, but
and it's also, can you actually ask for help in regards to these victim states? Oh, this is how I'm feeling. Can you help me maybe finding the solutions to these situations instead of just focusing on the problem, focusing on the solutions instead, and taking that leap of faith? Because that could be very scary to admit to somebody, I don't feel like I'm stable. I don't feel like I'm able to do these things. Mm-hmm. Can you actually take the leap and having the courage?
That's a very good thing. It's like exactly that what she just said.
Ask.
So like maybe in order for you to get a promotion or more money, you have to be able to do certain tasks, but you know that you can't. So can you go speak to your boss anyways and say, you know what? Hey, I need more money, but maybe is there another area that you can put me? Like there's a way of like, this is that fool Aquarius. Aquarius is to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it. Look at these cards, okay? So the Five of Pentacles, if you're watching on the podcast, it's all very gray and they're all wearing drab colors, but there's a stained glass window and it's bright yellow. Mm-hmm. And the Fool card is all bright yellow. So to me, that yellow stained glass is the Fool card saying, hey,
interesting.
Hey, like you're not alone in this. We have support for you.
Like behind, this is what you'll find if you enter the church, if you go actually look for help and take that leap of faith and courage, not care what people think about you, not care that, people, you're not caring of what other people's things, just to go and ask for help. Sometimes we're shy because like, oh, what are they going to think if I ask for help for this? Or I don't know how to deal with my finances. They're going to think I'm dumb. They're going to think I'm stupid. And it's just like having the courage to just go and ask. It's like, hey, I need help with this. Can you help me with this?
Asking for help is so challenging for the human.
For some, yeah.
Yeah, for some. A lot more for most, especially money. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have it, ask for it.
Or ask for a way to have more or solutions.
Like, but why are we even like a hangman would tell you, change the way you do things. Mm-hmm. Change the way you always have asked for money. Mm-hmm. Let's change. Maybe you have to change the person that you're asking money or whatever. I'm not saying money right now, but or whatever it is.
Example. Yeah. Or like maybe stop asking for money and actually go work and do something that you love to do that will just bring in infinite amounts of money, right? And these are all just examples, but it sounds like the collective needs to get a little more into that solar plexus state of courage and having the courage to ask the questions, do the thing, and removing themselves from all of these doubts and fears that might come up that is preventing them from taking this leap.
I had a moment. So this is going to come out the end of July or beginning of August. I don't know what date it is, but on July 15 to about July 18, Mars when conjunct into Uranus, and it happens every 2 years. But this time it's affecting the fixed signs of Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio. And in these cards, we have Taurus and Aquarius, the fixed signs showing up here. So if you're any of these signs, you could be feeling massive breakthrough when it comes to finances, when it comes to where you're going to be living in your life, where it comes to like relationships. At the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Scorpio being a fixed sign, which I find very interesting. And we're
talking about this before, that's why.
Yeah, we're talking about this, and it's come up. So
and I'm
like,
Scorpio.
Yeah, and she's Scorpio, I'm a Taurus. And Aquarius is our fixed sign too, and he's saying let's like get out of this. Let's like stop being so stagnant.
Yeah,
we need to start to change the way we see things.
Stop the victim state.
Stop the victim state.
And start seeing the world new, because that's the Fool card. It starts seeing the world before all the programming,
like the new version,
before all the programmings, before everything that it's just like what we were saying even before in this video. Can you see the world in a different light? We're doing the Hangman, right? You want to have like a blanc mémoire. I just had like a brain fart.
Where are we?
But yes, so in a Hangman state, can we see the world completely like we've never seen it before? Like a brand new baby born, like a newborn baby. That's what the Fool usually represents. Can you let go of all the stuff that you thought the world was, who you were, so you could enter with fresh new eyes and then get into that excitement of what the world could offer you, right? Exactly. The overflow.
Because like in the week of July 15, in my Let's Talk version of the video, I talk about we're rebooting our system because the body can no longer take the old version of ourselves. Why would we even want to remain in this? This to me is like mind-boggling. Why would you even want to remain in that? And also we talked a lot, me and Katarina, we talk all the time, but we talk about oh my God. I totally forgot what we were talking about. Okay, forget it.
You were talking about your video.
But the victim state, but like
how we need to reboot. Why we would stay into a body that no longer can sustain our greatness.
I totally lost my concentration. Yeah, she'll continue it.
It's not coming back.
No. I'm doing too many things, which I always.
But I mean, I love what I absolutely love what you said about why would we, if our body is upgrading, then we need to let go of the old, just of all the old ways of thinking, so we can enter. You know, it's almost like when you reboot a computer. When you're rebooting a computer, you have to delete the old software, so the new one could be added. Or else there's no room, there's no space on your computer. You know, those messages that we always get, especially on our phones. You need to delete some apps to have more pictures. You know,
full storage full.
There you go.
It's like what I was talking in my video. It's like your body is pleading with you. Can you help me here? I can't do this on my own. I have an old version. And I'm bringing in the new version, and you're just still in your victim states and still like scared, and it's okay, but it's to become more aware, right? Like fully, like okay, I gotta make this change. I gotta make this change not only for me, because this is a big thing, and I see this a lot. It's like me. We're getting out of me, myself, and I. It's like. What can I do that changes the world? What can I do to change the timeline? Because I don't want to stay in, because I'm telling you, and I talked about it with her, I'm done. I'm over this timeline. This is like
over it is kind of talk.
Right here. I'm over this. I'm over it. I don't want to work. I don't want to function in this.
Yeah.
I want to be the Hangman. I want to be the Odin. I want to be like seeing things differently and working differently with you guys and collaborating. You know, like. We need, like, why do we want to hold on to the old? Ugh. That's why the next one is Death card.
Yeah,
that's going to be exciting.
After the hang, after new perspective, you have to let die the old. Let die the old physical body, mental bodies, emotional bodies, even spiritual bodies. Because even the spiritual side of everything needs to upgrade to something greater.
And it's funny.
And you need to let it go.
Yeah. And we were talking about it because I was talking to her like over the weekend. I was not over the weekend because over the weekend was busy, but like yesterday.
We're talking about the weekend.
Yeah. I was like looking for videos to listen to, and then I was listening to Alan Watts, which everyone loves. But even Alan Watts is like outdated.
Mm.
It's like we're not there anymore. So a lot of information is very outdated. And we need to start listening to ourselves. If we continuously listen and ingest a lot of information out there, we're flooding ourselves. That's why Odin had to take 9 days and 9 nights on his own to empty himself out to bring in the new, because it was the new information he got was from him.
Yeah.
Not from information out there.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a lot. And that's true. For me, the death that we're going to talk about next week is going to be like, let's get on it, peoples.
Yeah. Like
seriously.
Allow everything to
I want you all to be
at rest too. Allow everything to be at rest. Let these things, put them to rest already. Because God knows that nothing's more important than your peace. And if you don't put these things to rest, you can't be peaceful. You will not have that inner peace to hear what your true soul wants you to know and do and
stop
become.
Attaching. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling it more and more. And so is Katarina. Yeah. We're both feeling this detachment from this old timeline.
Old timeline paradigm. Yeah.
It's like I'm almost being propelled, like rocket launched out of it. And I'm like, no, like human is like, okay, no, I gotta like come back.
But these people
guide people. And then they're like, no, get the F out of here.
And it's almost like what I was telling her today too. I'm done with, stop dipping your energy, stop dipping your frequency to kind of to the mediocre.
This is the second time I'm getting
ear ringing,
a download. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Can't wait to hear more about that. But instead, keep your frequencies high so people raise up to you. So it's almost feeling like that. Stop dipping to the victim states with everybody else. Stay up here and allow them. And the key here is to have compassion for these people. They're not there yet. That's okay. Don't hate on them because they don't know any better. It's like a kid that keeps falling down. And then are you going to make fun of them and hate on them because a 1-year-old is still stumbling around? No, you wouldn't.
Exactly.
You wouldn't because it's part of what they need to go through. Have compassion. You're not ready yet. That's okay. But I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to dip my energy. And this is how I feel sometimes with my niece and nephew. Sometimes they ask me, can you just tell me the answer? No, use your brain. I can't keep telling you the answer or else you would keep depending on me. And I don't want that. I want you to trust yourself and find the answers and live these lovely synchronistic moments where the answer comes to you and you're like, that aha moment, right? And it's interesting because Sabrina was also talking about like, I'm not supposed to tell you the answer. I was talking about one of her videos and I was telling her like,
you need to tell me. Wow.
So I didn't say you need to tell me. That's not what I said.
You need to tell people how to let go.
No. I didn't say that you need to tell people. I was stating an observation that I was having in my body where in the video, she was saying to let go. But sometimes we don't know how to let go. And that could be very triggering. But at the end of the day, her repeating letting go and me not knowing how to let go created such an uncomfortable feeling that at a certain point that uncomfortness needs to be expelled somewhere. So the act of surrendering comes naturally. So it's almost like she purposely was saying in her videos the same word that triggered me enough to be like, well, just surrender. Yeah. Right?
While she was saying F you to Sabrina on the side.
I wasn't saying
I'm kidding.
I was saying, what is going on? And then I was mentioning the observation of how sometimes we as channelers, there's certain things that we need to learn before we can actually be that thing that helps support other people. So in this case, it was maybe Sabrina hasn't fully let go. And that's why the words didn't come to her in terms of learning or not teaching, because it's more like guidance, right? Anyways, we're going
Yeah. Again,
We're going a little deeper into the
Yeah.
way we operate in our brains, but that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
For the
Before-
collective right
yeah.
now, this is what it is. Let go of, try to see things at a different perspective, like the hangman. Let go of the victim mentality. Have the courage enough to take the steps, actions, to have everything that your heart desires, even if it's scary at the moment. Stop like duping yourself and believing that you can't have it.
Yeah. And also, if you find yourself in a victim state or a fear state or whatever state it is,
I have compassion.
just have compassion for yourself, and also stand in the awareness of it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and if it feels good to write things down or record things, then do that, so that you can always like catch yourself. It's like the process of writing something down actually helps to
eliminate,
clear it all in your head a little bit. That for me, anyway.
It's an extension. Somebody has always told me that your brain is the arm is the extension. So writing it out helps to propel it out. So
yeah, beautiful. I like that.
There you go.
So we'll leave you. Okay, before we leave, I forgot to mention that Hangman is a Pisces energy, and it's ruled by Neptune,
which is in between worlds, which makes sense.
Which makes a lot of sense. So it's like, oh yeah, okay.
In between and the inversion.
And Pisces is very emotional as well.
It's also considered the fish that goes in both worlds, the physical and astral.
Super intuitive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The takeaways that we'll leave you with are: what lessons can I learn from surrendering and letting go of control?
That's a good one.
And number 2, what opportunities can I be missing due to hesitation or inaction?
Oh,
that's a good one. And how can I change that?
Where do you see yourself hesitating? And if you just take a step back and be like, well, what opportunities am I missing if I do hesitate and not take any action?
Like, do I go up to him and ask him out? No, I don't. But then if you don't ask him out, then you won't go out.
Or you'll never know.
Or you'll never know if he rejects you or not.
And even if he does reject you, whoa, can you sit in that awareness? It gives you an opportunity to love yourself even if you feel rejected, right? Loving yourself even deeper through that interaction, which you probably would have not had if you didn't actually take that action towards it. Because this whole world is our biggest lesson is learning how to love ourselves no matter what. So if you feel rejected, can you stand in that unconditional love for self, even if you feel, a little crappy because you didn't get what you want?
You know what we could do? I'm thinking out loud. Oh no.
What just happened? This is like a glitch in the matrix right now.
I was thinking maybe we could do, like, on Wednesday, we could put out the Justice and the Hangman and Justice,
Oh,
so we can make it faster, the tarot.
What would you guys think about that? Would you guys like that?
But no, it's too late because this is the Hangman. It's going to be like, forget it.
Huh?
Let's forget it. We should just edit this out. Maybe we won't, because she likes to keep everything in.
I love it. It needed to come out. But if you guys have any ideas?
Any ideas about this tarot journey, I guess?
Well, I mean, you can ask a question. The next card that you'll be able to ask your personal questions would be with the Death card. So what in your life do you need transformation? And we will answer it specifically and catered to you. So it's a free little reading from both of us because we're awesome.
Yes, we are.
And we've been doing this for a very long time, and it gives you an opportunity to have a little more clarity for the next episode, which will be the Death card. So transformation, what needs to die in your life right now? So something new could be reborn, right? So there you go. That's it. That's it, right?
That's it.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Before more downloads come.
All right.
Ciao, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much. And catch you in the next.
Yeah. Next week.
Bye.
Bye.